Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter here at the workbench with my wooden smooth plane. And I'm just tinkering. As you can see, I've boxed up the 4.5 planes to go back. And while I was doing that, I took my Clifton and I took it to the granite surface plate with that super fine abrasive paper. And to my chagrin, what's a chagrin? I polished the toe and the heel on that abrasive paper. You could see it's definitely shiny here and here, especially toe. But it wasn't touching around the mouth. We tested it with 1/1000 of an inch paper and it all tested, give or take whatever accuracies there are in my granite plate. Well, we all know that a smoothing plane works best when at least the front of the mouth is in perfect contact with the wood, along with the toe and the heel. You can have an empty space here and here, but the toe, the heel, and around the mouth. So I brought out my wooden plane and I took a scraper and I scraped a little bit, there again, that technical term, a little bit away from the middle there and the middle here, and it is working beautifully. So, yesterday, I also took time out to do some research, and you can do your own research on cast iron and stress relieving cast iron. Because I asked myself today, why is it? Well, actually, I asked myself yesterday, that's why I researched the cast iron. I had the Wood River that seemed to have one corner here and one corner here that were, I'm not going to say twisted, but might have moved 1/2,000 after grinding. So I found one fellow, an older gentleman, has a machine shop, and he conversed with me. And he has a video up on stress relieving metals, and especially cast iron, but it can be rolled metals as well, because metals go through the same stress relieving process as wood when you resaw it. So if we take a board and we rip it, sometimes it pinches, sometimes it spreads apart. That's tension in the wood being released. Okay? So he was explaining you have that same thing in cast iron, in mild steel, in hardened steel, same thing. So he was getting ready to make a piece for a machine, and he was actually with a bandsaw and a metal cutting blade. He was actually splitting a billet of steel in half because he wasn't going to waste steel. He needed a piece of a certain size. So he made his decision what he was going to use, and he cut it. And he said, now, I have 2 pieces. And these 2 pieces have now had their internal stresses changed by cutting them open in half. So into a stress relieving oven that he has that is computer controlled, and he was trying to explain that the foundries of old used to take their castings and put them out in a field, and they let them season, go from 0, go to 100 degrees. He said, no. He said that was a bunch of hooey, if you know what hooey is. He said, you have to raise the temperature of cast iron, and each cast iron is different. Gray cast iron versus the ductile cast iron that many of the new planes are being made out of. You have to raise the temperature at a certain rate to a certain temperature, and then cool it back to room temperature at a certain rate to relieve the tension. Just like you and me. You come home, you're all wound up, you make yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or some other beverage of your choice, and you sit down, no noise, and you sip and you relieve your tension. Same thing with the steels. So, what does this all mean? It means that you need to treat cast iron mentally the same as wood. It will move over time. And so if your plane is not behaving the way you want it to behave, it is very possible it has moved ever so slightly. Does that mean it's unusable? No. That just means that you may need to take it to someone who has a flat granite testing block, or get yourself a granite slab like I have, or a piece of 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch float glass or plate glass that's clean and flat. Test it with a ruler, and then put a lapping film on there. Don't go super fine. You can go 150, 180, 220, and just make a few light Sharpie marker stripes and take it to that surface back and forth and look at it. And you'll see if there's certain places that are touching. Now, I'm looking for something. If years ago we used to have something called carbon paper. It was real thin paper that had a blackening agent on it. And you used to put it in between two pieces of paper, and when you wrote on it, you would get a carbon copy, okay? That's where CC comes from. It's carbon copy. I have not been able to find it, but that would be something that would be interesting to put on a flat surface and then take your plane to it and just rub it over it and see where it leaves marks. All right, you're not doing any physical damage to anything. The same thing with plane blades, the same thing with even if you can get the frog out of a plane and test it on that, you could see where it's actually touching. And then you can make some minor changes. So I'm still looking for that, but just a thought. If you find some or have some carbon paper, let me know if that would work. Put it on a flat surface, make sure it doesn't move, take your plane to it, rub it across it, and if it leaves marks, I know that's what they do with, in machine shops, they'll take their granite plates and they'll ink them to where the ink is virtually dry. That's how thin the layer is. And they'll place metal parts on it and rub it. And when they take it away, it has the high points. And then they go and they take a scraper and they scrape those high points off. They retest it take the high points off, retest it. And they keep doing that over and over and over until finally the whole entire surface is blue. That means that there are no more high spots. They mean the whole thing is flat. So we could do the same thing, especially with wooden planes. Imagine taking a wooden plane to a super flat surface, rubbing it, finding the high spots, taking a super sharp scraper and just scraping away those marks. Go back and test it again. You could make your wooden planes 100% flat, flat, flat. So that's about it for now. I'm going to do another video now. I'm going to tell you about the surprise that I found, that I alluded to. Kind of held this one back because I wanted to get everything packed up. It won't shock you. It may surprise you somewhat, but it's just amazing. Sometimes we forget the simplest things. Like, subscribe, and share. Head out to your shop. Go make some shavings. Walter out.